Namaste. I am Nectarios from the center of ashtangayogacrete. We are in Hania, Crete, Greece. And in this yoga sala, we follow and teach the Ashtanga Vinyasa yoga method that is following the Mysore classes. Ashtanga Vinyasa yoga, it's a system from South India known by Patabi Joyce, Sri K. Patabi Joyce, and it's a method that is taught individually to each practitioner, student, and it is developed and adjusted according his or her body type, mind type, needs and phase of life. So we teach the physical postures, the asanas, to each one individually, step by step, and like that we develop a self-practice that each one will do in the sala and in personal life, of course, individually, and will work on his or her own breath, pace, phase, and sequence, and even variations or repetitions of the same asana when needed, as number of breaths and like that. So that is called the Mysore class. Mysore class, like there might be in the yoga sala, in the yoga room, 5 or 10 students. Each one will work individually and will work on his or her own sequence, and we will approach everyone individually and adjust, help, support, inspire and teach. That is a very nice and useful way to practice. And from the first class, a beginner, from the first time the beginner comes here, will have a chance to the idea of self-practice. We learn, for example, the sun salutation. That can be practiced from the first day after on his or her home, in the very basic form, of course. Because in the beginning we can't see any details in the first class, but we just check how we breathe, how the body moves with the breath, do we use any violence on the body, are we concentrated, and so on. And every time, as the days goes by, we develop and deepen in the same sequence. We have certain sequences to teach, like first, second, third, fourth series, and everyone will go from this series, but these sequences will adjust to everyone individually, and there will be variations on how to do, And when a time comes that a very, very advanced and experienced student can develop the way that it's better, for that person. There are the local practitioners that live in the city that are coming all year round in our daily yoga classes that we have within the week, morning and evening. And with this kind of practitioners, we can work with quality because we are here all the year, and we have time to focus more in detail. There are practitioners that are coming for a short term in the city, either for holidays on the city, or they're visiting the city, or they are coming to study in the sala, like for a week, 2 weeks, a month. Some of them just coming for 1 day because they are passing by. Even with this type of practitioners, we will also work in a similar way, and we can try to focus more, since they are shorter time, in the practice that they already know. So those who are familiar with this type of practice, they are welcome, and we will help them they can do their own practice, and we will help them to deepen and adjust them in what they do. There are practitioners that are coming in the city, but for some reason they're having a different yoga practice, a different method. They are welcome also to practice, and they can do their own method, whatever they do, whatever they learn, and we will help them in what they do. Like we can say most of the systems have similar asanas, but approach can be different, sequence can be different, interest can be different. But I mean, for someone who likes to come a few times and has another method, we will help in what they already do. For those who really want to learn this method, this will give some time to do that. And some people they like to come for a drop-in because they're passing by from the city. They are also welcome if they know this practice. For those who are not familiar with this practice, or they don't have a self-practice at all, to come to our class, which is a self-practice class, we will also give some basic steps, but for one class it's not enough time to really do much, So it is more advisable if somebody doesn't know this method and has not any yoga experience or practice, to do some individual classes, so we can work 100% the time, and that can be like one individual, few individual private classes, and they can get an idea of what happens. And also, let's say that this method nowadays you can find in most of the places all over the world. There is a yoga sala that teaches Ashtanga, Vinyasa, Yoga, Mysore type of classes, so anyone can always continue what they learn here at another similar yoga sala. Some people, they are like some practitioners, they come to the city and they like to work, let's say, hard, like serious. So for those people, we can organize a self-retreat. So we don't have to have a certain retreat, but they're coming and they inform us that we want to come for a week or for a month, and we want to have a daily practice with a holistic approach of yoga, like asana, pranayama, mudras, theory, ayurvedic approach in our practice. So we can design a self-retreat, and we can do that, and that is very special to have one like that, Our approach in teaching and in yoga, I would say it is a holistic approach. So that means that we will teach asana, body postures, pranayamas, mudras, the theory of yoga, the 8 steps of Ashtanga Vinyasa yoga. We will check the sister science of yoga, which is Ayurveda, how is combined with yoga practice, because they are like together. We can check the diet, the nutrition, what is best for the practitioner, the daily life, how to be, how my practice will serve my daily life. And also we are doing the practice of Jyotis, that is Vedic astrology, which is also a sister science of yoga and Ayurveda, and they are all combined together. Like that, from that chart of the planets are located in the time of my birth, we can see how the body and the mind works, and focus in more detail in my sadhana, in my practice. So in a few words, it's a long path, and even little bit of practice on it, just a little bit work on this path, we are benefited. More, full devoted, full benefited. If you have any questions or like to know something else, feel free to write an email and we can answer you. And also there are some retreats every year, specific retreats like on the White Mountains. We go and spend some time there and we do intense practice, or in the city also. So these retreats are very nice to join and have good experience of this environment. Thank you. Namaste.